Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to SpectrumMamis. We're here hanging out, lounging.
Yep.
We're trying to be a little bit more comfortable. Así, echarnos para atrás. Y ahorita nos quedamos dormidas. Pero bueno, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. We have a good show for our people.
Do we?
Do we? No.
If
she's question,
that's open to interpretation.
Anyway,
I think it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah. How are the kiddos?
Good. In school.
Yeah.
Been getting good reports from school.
Good.
For one of them at least.
Uh-oh.
And it's not the one you think.
No.
But it's never what we think, right? So
wow. I gotta hear about that.
Have a good story to tell about that one. Yeah.
This weekend was special for me. People, I am already in my 50s. And I have to get my colonoscopy. And they did colonoscopy and endoscopy.
Fun.
Yeah.
How was the prep?
Interesting. De verdad.
Is
To
this
the
your
point.
first one?
No, I've had them before, years ago. Pero this is my first one in, I want to say, 18 years or 19 years.
Wait, you had one 19 years ago? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did because I had some issues with my stomach and all that stuff. So I had one done then, I want to say 20 years.
I feel like, so I've never done one. I'm 45. I was told that I'm not really late on getting it done.
No.
As far as preventive care goes, and if I'm not having any problems. I'm not really late, but I also do have a family history of cancer, one of them being colon cancer with my paternal grandfather. So even though it's 2 generations back, or 1 generation, is that considered 1 or 2?
1.
Okay, 1. Both my parents are 2.
Oh, okay.
Math is not my forte.
I can't count.
No. And I'm not having any issues, so it really hasn't been something where I needed to get it done, but I did go to the doctor and we're in the midst of getting that ordered, which is also another funny story, but please do tell first about your weekend experience.
Well, my weekend experience, the prep was Friday. Fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was drinking a lot of water and it was coming out.
Thinking, what were you drinking?
I was drinking a lot of water and it was coming out the same way.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of thing. And then in the morning, I woke up with a headache. So I was like, why do I have this headache? And they tell you after midnight, don't eat or drink, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Blah. Okay.
Does that also pertain to water?
Yes.
Yeah? Wow.
Yes, because it gets you nauseous with the
anesthesia. Okay.
So, I got there and my headache was getting worse. And I was not a happy camper.
No, for sure.
Right? So between one thing and the other, I was not a happy camper.
Yeah.
So whenever I get there, they get you in, whatever, they talk to you, que no sé qué, y viene el anestesiólogo to ask you a few questions.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes and he looks at me and he goes, you don't look happy. And I'm like,
in your defense, I don't know anyone that's actually happy to get a colonoscopy.
I said the same exact thing.
It's not a that's party kind of thing.
Everybody around were chuckling because I was like, and who comes in here happy?
And really?
And then he kind of smile, whatever.
I mean, I guess that's true.
And people, la otra.
I mean, I get what he meant. He probably just saw. I mean, when you have, I feel like, especially with me, when I have a headache, you will know that I have a headache. You could see it in my face, my eyes. So then maybe that's what he meant.
I told them that I had a headache, so they had to give me extra, they put an actual IV. They put a port, but they actually put some fluids before I went in there.
Oh, okay.
Because apparently I was dehydrated.
Well, that would make sense from the prep.
Right.
So that's why you have the
So
headache.
I'm like, but I drank a lot of water too, you know.
Yeah.
I made sure of that.
Right.
Like, from early on Friday.
Yeah, but I feel like the prep, probably the effects of the prep lasted a lot longer than you were allowed to drink water.
Yeah.
So that, you deplete all that very quickly.
Yeah. So then he's like, oh, let's get you, how's your headache? And I'm like, okay, let's get some fluids in. And so they did that. But yeah, I was like, and who comes in here happy?
Thanks. Yeah.
I don't think anybody does. I looked around and he's like, I'm like, listen, after the night that I had, I ain't happy.
Right.
Shoot. But anyway, so what's your story?
Well, I mean, I do have a story about the kiddo, but in reference to the colonoscopy thing. So my husband hadn't been to the doctor in over, okay.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Yeah, we talked a little bit about this. So my husband, I try to go regularly as much as I can, but like normal. And it's still, my biggest issue is that I have issues. I go and then I don't follow through with the recommendation or like whatever, like follow-ups, and then like I was supposed to do a battery of tests at one point or several times, and I just didn't get the testing done, so we're back to square one, that sort of thing. But with him is just getting him to go to the doctor at all. He always felt like if I feel fine, that my body would tell me otherwise if I needed to kind of go to the doctor. Now, I remember...
But isn't that every man?
Yeah. No. Getting a man to go to the doctor is like pulling teeth. Yet, it's funny because that's how it is, but then you've heard of the man cold. They're like, they're dying and all this other stuff. And I can't do anything else. Yeah. And I can't do anything else. I'm dying. That you would think, but at the same time, yes, they really... And nobody likes to go to the doctor. I don't think. It's just that we go because we have to. But
and we just got to make sure that everything is working fine.
Right. So and I remember, the reason I say that I know it's been at least 10 years is because I vividly remember going for a checkup, both of us, especially for him, because again, I was kind of going regularly, when we decided that we wanted to have a second child, and that it was, because we had always kind of talked about it, but when we had lots of genetic counseling and genetic testing and, anything that you could do because you have a child with special needs, basically I was told that there was a chance that my second child would also have special needs, and there's a chance for everyone. So especially nowadays. So the numbers that were giving to me were, there's a 1 out of 3. There's a 1 out of 3 anyways, kind of, so we decided that we were going to have another child. And so, but besides all the genetic testing and genetic counseling, we also went to get a full checkup because we were in our later 30s and, everything else. And he hadn't had one in a while. So we decided to get him a full panel of blood work and, testing for pretty much for everything. Testosterone, anything that would rule out. We hadn't tried yet, but we were like, in case it doesn't happen right away. It happened right away with the first, but, fertility goes down after 8 years. And so we did this. And I remember doing it when we were deciding to have another baby, and the baby's 10. The baby's now 10. So, yeah. So, I knew that it had been that long. So, he specifically does need to get a colonoscopy. He's not having problems, but there is some family history as well. And he's 47. So, 47 or 48?
Uh-oh.
He just had a birthday. Anyways. So, he needs to get one. And he had been dreading the idea of even going there. But realizes now that he really does need to do it. So when he goes to the doctor goes, so I can order you a colonoscopy, or I can do the colon guard. The colon guard, you just gotta it'll tell you if there's any cancerous cells or whatever. Or, supposed to. I don't know exactly what it's supposed to do, but they told him, so you have an option. I can send you for the colonoscopy, or you could just, where you do the collection at home and you send it out, you ship it to a lab. And he goes, I want that one. Of course he did. When you give him an option. Of course. I was supposed to be inside with him, which would have made the outcome completely different.
Yes.
But I was dropping off our daughter at school, so I got there just after they asked that question. So then I saw the same doctor right after, and she says, by the way, so I knew you had concerns about your husband being able to get everything done. Doctor tells me, he's getting his labs done and all of that, and we gave him the option, and I'm like, of course that's what he chose. So when I spoke to my sister-in-law, who's a nurse, because she had like a little list of everything that she wanted to make sure that he got done, she goes, no, that's bullshit. He needs to get a colonoscopy. That's not going to tell you anything. And no, whatever. So she's like, he needs to get a colonoscopy. And I'm like, nah, you need to do it anyway. So yeah, we're in the midst of that and a few other testing. But there's not really any problems. But I just thought that it was like, I wasn't in there. And that's why that went that way.
It's funny that you say that. Because with Mr. Manuel, he's afraid of needles.
Oh, yeah. No, this one too.
Afraid.
Like really? No.
Like afraid.
Oh no. Yeah.
Like he's a big tall guy.
Yeah,
and it's like un pendejo.
Yes.
For needles.
No.
Okay.
Thomas too. Yeah.
And one time because he has issues with his back and his shoulder.
Right.
And we went to urgent care, and I went in there with him. You know that ever since that day, I'm forbidden
to go in
with him. He's like, oh, no. But if I need to go to, the ER or emergency, I'll go by myself. And I'm like, funny. No. Well, the guy, the doctor is like, explaining, you have this,
right.
that, whatever, que no sé qué. Y for the pain, I could give you an injection or I can send you some painkillers.
Painkillers.
And then before he even said anything, I said, injection. He looked at me like he was gonna kill me.
For sure.
Like he was gonna kill me. He went, y tú sabes cómo él abre los ojos así grandes.
And then you have to realize that not only does he have big eyes, they're also like really, really light color. They're blue, right? Like bluish greenish. And so, yeah, I know the look.
Yes, you know the look. So he abre los ojos así de grande, me quería matar. Entonces, cuando sale el hombre, y dice, pero inyección, pero por... Entonces el hombre, he started like...
For sure, like he knew.
And then he's like, no, pero eso es rápido, que no sé qué. Y dice, rápido. And, bueno, se va el hombre. Pero que tú tienes que estar diciendo, yo no quiero inyección. Y yo juraba, this is early on in the, So, now I know.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was that
bad. You figured, well, I mean, if there's an issue, he'll take the shot because, oh my God, that's
bueno, arriba de eso, cuando viene la mujer con la inyección, y eso es lo que me va a poner.
Viene con una jeringuilla.
No, pero la jeringuilla era así, pero él la veía así.
Él la veía así, yeah.
It was one
No,
of
it's
those.
a perception issue.
Sí. Bueno.
Oh my God.
Oh, you have to drop your pen. In my
butt.
¿Cómo? In my what? And then she's like, yeah, it's not gonna be a big deal. So can I lay down? I'm like, no, you do it standing up. Y no hay una almohada que hay que...
Oh my God.
I'm like,
bueno,
eso la culpa la tiene tu abuela, porque not even your mom. Eso es cosa de abuelita.
Yeah, for sure. Una buena abuelita, mijito. For sure. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I have video of right after. I cried of how much I was laughing
I
that
can
day.
imagine. That's hilarious.
I witnessed one of those things that is like tan grande y tan pendejo.
No, if si Thomas se corta or something, he'll be like, I think I need rescue. Like he's saying it, playing around.
Pero sí, pero no.
Sí, pero no. And so he wasn't with me. I was inside with the doctor while he was getting the labs, and I go to him, that's it, you got it done. He goes, and he had the little, the not just a Band-Aid, but like with the stick,
with the thing.
With the esparadrapo,
yeah.
He goes,
el algodón or whatever.
And I go, ¿y no te desmayaste? He said, I was close. I was like, okay.
Cualquiera diría. Le sacaron las tripas por ahí.
And then I'm walking next to him. And of course, at this point, he had been fasting, so he was dying. So, another reason why he was dying. So, I'm walking next to him and I'm going, like, I'm about to pull it out, like, you know, because that's just what I do. And he's like, no, I'm not ready. No. So, by the time that he got home, it was off already. No, it was off already. And I'm like, oh, you took it off? He goes, yes. He goes, I was going to take it off. I just wasn't ready. Todo su tiempo. I was like, ay, Dios mío.
No way. Ay,
So,
no, pero tenemos entonces grandes y pendejos.
Oh, yes. Yes,
No.
yes, for sure. For
Qué
sure.
horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about Miss Thing.
Miss Thing. So, this whole scenario I'm going to play out, this is one of those things where, like, you can't make this shit up. I am pretty certain that I can now tell her to give the excuse at school about my dog ate my homework. Because, believe it or not, that is more believable than this one. So yesterday, so Chloe hardly ever misses school. It's usually for an appointment or whatever. But I'll be honest, if I'm not feeling well, and again, she hardly has any absences. But if I'm not feeling well or something's going on or she's tired and she asked for a day because she's tired, she's going to get that day. Like, I'm not going to, you know, you don't need to report me for truancy. She hardly misses school. You know, it's fine, you know.
Yeah.
The Nazis. But I do recognize that, you know, this fast-paced life in school and fourth grade, it's hard. And so she got up yesterday.
Especially in that school.
In that school. So in the morning, I got up. I wasn't feeling great. I was going to have to go to my mother-in-law's house to take care of my mother-in-law. But if I didn't have to take Chloe, then I could actually leave the house a little later. And I just wasn't feeling well. I took some Advil. And she was really tired and didn't, you know, she really needed that, like, I guess, like, mental health day. And I said to her, okay, but you're going to have to go with me. Oh, yeah. She was so excited to go with me to her grandmother's house and help take care of her grandmother. So she said, I'm going to take my book bag, though, so that I can work. So she had a packet where she had 3 days, 1 page she had to do. Then the next day she had to do, this is just for, like, the language part. Math is separate. So she had a packet where she had to do 1 page every day and then turn it in today. So she had done almost the whole packet. So she sits, my mother-in-law has like a little desk. She has a desk in a like spare room and she used to do work in there and stuff. She can't do any of that anymore, but everything is still set up. She's got a printer in there and all that stuff. So while I was with my mother-in-law in the living room, she went in there and was doing her homework. I looked on her. She was probably in there for like an hour. I looked on her a few times. I did see that she was almost done. Of course, she gets very distracted with the phone. I told her, stop looking at the phone, stop looking at YouTube or whatever. Please finish that so you can put it away so we can be done with it. So she had, when I walked in, she had maybe like 2 problems left. All of a sudden, she comes out to the living room looking like she saw a ghost, white, and bursts out crying and says, I shredded my homework. What? What do you mean you shredded your homework? It says like insert paper here and I was just wondering and I did it. She put her homework through a freaking shredder.
No.
And it's not just any homework, people. It's what's called a cold read, which these kids hate doing. She's no exception. And it really takes a lot of energy and like, you know, brain power for her to do it. And she doesn't like doing it. So if you don't like doing it once, you certainly are not going to want to do it twice.
Damn.
But she, with staples and everything, it was like a 3-page, whatever, she shredded the whole thing. She stayed like, and I go to her, why? And she goes, because I didn't think.
You don't want to try it.
I didn't think it was connected. But why? But why? She goes, I didn't think it was connected. Well, yeah, but still, why? Like, if you didn't think it was connected, then it wouldn't have done anything if it wasn't connected. So there was no reason to insert
Even
paper
try.
here. Like,
Even
try. So she was very upset. She cried for a while. She's still upset about it because at that point I messaged her teacher. And I said, listen.
Pero, espera. ¿Qué tú le dijiste a la maestra?
I said we had a...
Did you make up shit?
I know. Well,
Kind of.
No, not yet. I mean, I will tell her the truth. I don't have a problem telling the truth. I just didn't even know how to put that on paper. Like on basically what I said was,
I can't put that in writing.
no, I said listen to this. We had a mishap. That was the word that I used. And
Okay, mishap.
we had a mishap, aka she stuck the paper in the damn shredder. We had a mishap with the cold
Ay, no
read,
puedo.
and it is gone.
Got where?
In the bucket. In the bucket that's attached to the shredder. It's like a
To
trash
the
can.
other side.
Yes.
It's gone to
So
the other side.
my friend goes to me, who actually knows her teacher and everything because her daughter had the same class last year. She goes, oh my God, no, I mean, and she hasn't answered because I messaged her and I said, no, not yet, and she's having a fit because, she needs to turn it in and then she goes, wow, the only thing, maybe explain to her what happened and I mean, do you still have it? And I go, you mean do I have the confetti? The paper confetti?
Tú sabes cómo hacen en los shows de investigation, que cogen, no, bueno, sí,
Yeah.
pero también que ponen,
Yes, and they
start
put everything
putting-
back, yeah,
they
all
put
the
every-
clues.
Yeah. ¿Tú
And
te
she goes,
imaginas?
yeah. And she goes, no, maybe put it in a Ziploc packet and go, look, this happened. Is there, like, and I go, I'm not, I guess I can do that, but I left it in the bucket, in the
Yeah.
thing. So I told her, just to be clear, if you see a blender and it has a blade,
Oh my God.
assume that it's on. Do not stick your finger in it. Do not put your finger in the garbage disposal. Like, okay, so then I emailed the teacher and I told her there was a mishap and that the papers are gone. And
Todavía I'm processing the whole thing and what you just said. It's like, can you imagine? Ay, Dios mío, me muero. Me muero.
I know she put a lot of work to it and she's gonna have to do it again. And I also understand that if you send me a new one, she's gonna have to turn it in a day late, which will probably take her off points. We are totally prepared for that and we're aware that might happen. But if there's any way you can send me another one or give her another one tomorrow and we'll have it in by Friday, the next day. So yeah. I have not heard back from the teacher. I've been checking. And now she's mad because the teacher doesn't answer. And I go, how about don't shred your damn homework? Like it's...
Dios santo.
So, well, the teacher should answer our message. And I go, and you shouldn't be shredding your homework. Sticking your papers where they don't belong. So, and I feel bad because she was really, really upset. And I told her, it's okay.
And she worked on it.
Accidents happen. Accidents happen. Sí, pero no. Because it's one of those things like when they say so-and-so accidentally got hit by the train. Did you not see the train coming?
That's true.
Like, how do you not get hit by... Like, if you get hit by a train, you could just simply, step back and let the train pass. Like, it's one of those things. You don't accidentally shred your work.
Yeah.
Unless...
Está comiendo bien.
Well, I think that it's just that her ADHD took over.
Yeah,
and she
it was
like,
one of
she
those-
goes, and
Tuvo
un lapse of judgment. But I was sorry, I was just staring at that bird over there.
And I kind of put it in there and, oh my God. Can you imagine those moments?
Like that.
When
Yes.
it first went in,
Yes.
what she, her reaction and what she...
Yes. Well,
Yo
I
me
know. I'm
imagino
telling you,
la
she
pobre.
came out distraught.
Y yo me imagino que it took her a bit between that.
How do I even explain this?
That didn't happen right away.
No, probably
she
not.
must have been a few minutes there, what? What? Tú te no.
I'm like,
what
you
is
know
it?
how those work. It shreds. That's what it does. The machine shredded my paper. No. You shredded your paper.
You put it in there.
Yeah. So, see what I'm saying? That my dog ate my homework probably would have been more believable.
Yeah.
Or would have made more sense, being that we have 2 dogs.
Yes.
Well,
you could use it still, but
I mean, it's
The
it's a mishap. No, I want to tell the teacher what happened, but I didn't think it mattered at that point. We don't have the paper, and like I probably will.
No está.
I know, and she hasn't. It's gone. She hasn't answered me yet, so I'm waiting kind of for her to like reply, and then I don't mind saying it or once. So today she was upset on the way to school because she's like, she's gonna collect the assignment and I don't have it, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't do anything about that now. All we could, and then she just kept on.
I wonder
and I said,
if she's gonna tell the teacher.
I don't know. And I said, we can't do anything, when mistakes happen, and that's okay.
She may wait for you to explain it.
Maybe. She goes, can I just tell? And then she wanted to like throw me under the bus and say like, she goes, can I just tell her that you threw it away by mistake or that you shredded it by mistake? And I'm like, no. I go, listen, mistakes happen and it's okay, but you need to own your mistakes.
Yes.
You can't just like go and point the finger at somebody else. It happens and it's going to be fine. And if she doesn't give you another opportunity, then we have to take one for the team and we have to cut our losses. Yeah. But you have to own your mistake. You can't just like point the finger at somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. So somebody even told me, maybe, since my mother-in-law's sick and maybe we could just say that she did it by mistake. And I'm like, no, like
So she was trying to plot.
Yeah, well, no, she wasn't. Somebody else told me that. And I'm like, no, no. Okay. I'm not going to say that.
I was going to say, Chloe, you can't be that devious.
No. Yeah. So I have stories to tell. Like, it's been an interesting week, but I will leave the other stories this week. Probably for another episode. But I have another good one coming your way. Just
stay tuned.
Stay tuned for
our crazy life.
The Jovia household is it's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
To say
all of our households are,
to say the least.
Yeah. So today's episode, it's about inclusion.
Inclusion, which is a word that we hear over and over and over again, and we hear it a lot now, especially. Mm-hmm. But not only that, and I don't think we're going to go so much into inclusion in the classroom or what inclusion looks like at schools, because that's a whole other episode.
No, yeah.
We're going to talk more inclusion about with friends and also making new friends and being accepted by your peers and that sort of thing. Not necessarily school, because inclusion in schools, that's I think that's completely different. If we go into like inclusion in the classroom and that sort of thing. What we want to talk about now, mostly, and we should have an inclusion episode, is more about, I always feel, so we've been having a lot of conversations about this due to some recent events and in one of our lives. And one of the, there's a fine line between wanting to be included and feeling like you're entitled.
Yes.
They're two different things, and then there's right and wrong. But everybody has an opinion, because opinions are
everybody has one.
Yeah.
Right.
So everybody has an opinion, and some people are totally on one side or on the other side. And I'm kind of like, I get it, where you should be included, everyone should be included, but it really depends on the situation.
Yes.
On the situation and the circumstance. So
not necessarily that when you have events or whatever it is, outside of school. Mm-hmm. We're talking outside of school.
Outside of school.
Right?
Yeah.
When you have, get-togethers, birthday parties, whatever it is. Not necessarily you have to invite everyone from the class or everyone from the group or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. And just because certain kids have autism, they have to get invited. That's what you mean, right?
Right. That's exactly what I mean. That just not just because they have autism.
You have to make that point.
To make that point. To invite them just because they are special needs or they have autism. No. I don't. And the thing is, because I've seen a lot of families use that, like the A card kind of thing. Right? Or And I don't think that's right either. Like, I don't think that should be a thing. Like, it just shouldn't be. But, so I don't know. I mean, I think both different ways. So, like, let's say, let's put up the scenario, right? So, your child is in a classroom, and this can happen really with whether you have a kid with, I mean, we see it a lot with kids that have special needs or that have autism. I've seen it on Reddit and Quora and all these other websites where people have put this out there. Like, you know, my child is in an inclusive classroom with kids of all capabilities, or, you know, or is high functioning, which we don't always like to use, but is functioning high enough where he can be in an inclusive or in a mainstream classroom. And all the kids were invited to a birthday party, but my child, who was on the spectrum, did not. That, we've seen those. But then...
all the time.
Right. And that's where I want to go with that, is that that's not okay. Like, you can't invite, you know, you let's say, to put this into perspective, you have 20 kids in a classroom and you invite 18 or 19 kids from your kid's classroom to your child's birthday party, and then exclude the ones that you just don't feel like inviting. Like that. And this is, we see it a lot with kids on the spectrum, but regardless of what the situation is, it's just not cool to do. Now, do I feel like every kid in the class should be invited, even if your child doesn't interact with that kid? No. So
no, you have to make a decision whether you invite the closest friends,
right,
or you have the means and the way of inviting the whole class.
The whole class, right.
It's either or.
Yeah.
You can't, you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say you can't.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can do whatever the hell they want. But, like she said, if there are 20 kids and you're just inviting 4,
mm-hmm. That's different. These are the ones that are closest to your child, and then maybe your child, you could involve your child in the conversation.
Exactly.
Who would you like from your class to go to your birthday party? These are the kids that interact with them the most, you know, throughout the day. Then maybe they're friends on the outside, and that's okay. But it's different when you've invited every other kid and you left 1 or 2 out.
That's right.
And so we've seen this before. It may have happened to one of us at one point. And so we've seen this, and this is the great thing too. Most of our kids won't even realize that which that's a bittersweet thing, and that's totally a whole other topic. But a lot of our kids won't even realize they're being excluded.
No. They don't see sarcasm. They don't see exclusion. These things, they don't really particularly pick up on.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So they really don't. They're like, okay, whatever.
But
you know, they go about their way. You know, it really doesn't faze them.
Right. But their mamas do.
Yeah. That's kind of true. Yeah.
So
it kind of depends where it comes from,
mm-hmm.
too.
I also don't, to be clear, I don't want a pity invite either.
No.
Like, and I don't want you to feel like, if
Not
you really
at all.
don't want me or my kid there, like, I really don't want you to invite me just because, you know, but it should come out of you. Like, you should know that you want to invite that kid because he's part of the group. I don't know. But I would really love to know other people's take on it, because we've talked about this so much. I've always liked to know other opinions.
In my case, with Angel, he really doesn't know. Actually, he doesn't. Overall, he doesn't know how to make friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's used to adults.
Right.
He either gets drawn by talking to, adults,
mm-hmm.
or to smaller kids. Smaller kids because of his mental capacity, however you want to say it.
Right, I think like his cognitive age. Yeah.
Cognitive age.
Mm-hmm. And they share the same interests.
Exactly.
Because of the age.
With peers, for him, it has been hard.
Right.
And we talk about it. He even has the circle of friends, or I don't know what it's called, pero que tú pones like different colors, and then this is your family. These are, friends. These are acquaintances. We've done all of that for many years now. But it's almost like,
right.
Ni da frío, ni da calor, because...
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very typical. It's very common for a lot of these kids to be more drawn. I mean, definitely to the little ones because of what we said, but also to adults because they are essentially with adults all day. So they are used
especially like a child like Angel. He has been with all these therapies all this time. So he has that bond with his therapist.
Right. So with the little ones, it's the cognitive age and then and what they both enjoy. And then with the adults is everything else of it. So there's that disconnect with the middle.
Exactly.
Making friends is really hard. So I can understand.
And that comes, if you think about it, that comes kind of natural. Nobody really tells you how to make friends or how...
True.
I mean, tú tienes que explicarle, you have to be nice, que no sé qué, dependiendo de, whatever's going on at that point. Pero who teaches you that?
No,
Nobody.
No, not normally. Normally it comes naturally, yeah.
So you get drawn to somebody and you start talking.
Right.
And then, we make a friendship and blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Right.
Con ellos, no. That doesn't come natural. That has to basically, and that goes with practically everything. Everything has to be talked about and taught. Like, tienes que enseñarle a tu hijo a hacer amistades.
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
But it happens.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is.
And a lot of times too, like so for the most part, when people see my son, they know that they can figure it out almost right away, that he has special needs. He might be nonverbal, or they'll figure that out. But a lot of times, a stranger may think that your child is being rude because they're not responding or they're not initiating, the good morning when they don't, I don't know that person. So it's not uncommon for other people on the outside. So I think this is another reason why I was really wanting to include this and talk about this, is because to the outsider, your kid is just being rude, and they may not know that they just don't, that's a problem for them and they lack that skill. Yeah.
That's happened with Angel.
Right.
And I've had to talk to him.
Right.
A while back, he got out of the car. Some kids sometimes are there where I drop them off. And they say, hi, good morning, que no sé qué. And I'm always, saying hello. But Angel is super focused and just gets down, goes get his backpack, and boom.
Right.
Por ahí va. And one of the kids is like, hi, Angel. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God. And he's like, hi, Angel. And he went to, it looked like he was doing hi, but then he was going to do a high five. And Angel just passed right by him and kept on going. So when I saw that.
Yeah, it was like he left them hanging.
He left them hanging.
Right.
So I saw that. I'm like, oh, Angel. So I talked to him and I said, hey, this morning, And he's like, but I said hi. But his hi must have been like, hi. And kept on going. Like under his breath, hi.
Right.
And because he's focused that he is getting off and going to class. Yeah. No le diga, that's it. He's going to class. Otra conversación que yo he tenido con él is like, okay, I'm trying now. He's going to be 18 in June.
Right. Yeah.
So we've been talking to him about being a young adult, what that means. Look at your brother, que no sé qué. Tú sabes, cosas así, ¿no? Creating a conscious, because it's almost like trying to create that scenario in his head. This is what should be happening. You're turning 18. you gotta make friends, you gotta take care of your things and be responsible, que no sé qué, no sé cuánto, y por ahí sigo, ¿no? Que uno está constantemente.
Yeah, like it's a ongoing thing.
Exactly.
Right.
So, cuando le estoy diciendo esto y le pregunté of that incident that he went past by his classmate, I said, why did you do that? Remember, you gotta make friends and all that stuff. Y me dice, but that's why I have my family. I have my family, Mom. I'm like, oh, sí. You have your family, but you also have to have friends. So ahí fue cuando a mí se me prendió el bombillo y yo le digo, you know Lisette?
That's good.
She's my friend.
Like
she's not family,
examples. Right?
But she's my friend, and she's dear to me, and we are friends. Y que no sé qué. And you know, we know her family, and she knows our family. Y que no sé qué y no sé cuánto. Entonces también le dije de los amigos de Sergio, you know so and so, that they come here. Well, they're friends. He has us. They're his family.
Right.
But he
still has friends. Yeah.
So, él como que he had like a, I don't know, como like a moment, because I could see it in his face.
Right.
Pero no me dijo más nada.
Yeah. No, I love that example. That really, I think it's so clear and easy to understand.
Porque no puedo usar like las terapistas o
no.
Because he loves them.
Yeah.
Pero tampoco puedo confundir.
Yes.
Blur the lines, you know?
Definitely.
As in, she's your therapist, but she's also your friend.
Yeah.
Y que no sé qué. Entonces, to him, he's still gonna be drawn to the people who are closest to him.
No,
he's not gonna go out there.
The way that you, like, the way you said it was absolutely perfect. And putting those examples in place, definitely.
Because then he was like, oh, So, se quedó así pensando, and, you know, days after, they came to say hello, y que no sé qué, y entonces él paró, hizo así, y siguió. I'm like, okay, it's all
baby
work
steps.
Exactly.
That's better.
All a work in progress, you know? Pero son cosas que some people, some kids may understand, but some others don't.
Yeah.
It'll be like, okay, he didn't answer my hello, so why am I going to talk to him?
True.
Tú sabes, cosas así que... Y cae en eso de que, oh, he's not my friend. Bueno...
Right.
He doesn't know how to make friends.
Right. And then that would explain what we were talking about, the inclusion and the birthday parties and events. If you've never put any effort towards being these people's friend, and then suddenly there's an event and you're not invited, then that would also mean, well, they just aren't friends. But in his case is also that he doesn't really know how to make friends either. But, you know, honestly, even with that...
I feel like with, at least in my case, I don't go so much into, okay, so he's, I don't know, 10. He should be doing this, and this, and he has to do that. No lo he hecho así, porque yo entiendo, I understand that Angel... His stages are different than his age.
Right, of course.
So I've never, yes, we talked to him about it. Yes, he has the little circle, you know, thing in his dashboard, you know, like, not dashboard, but like his board.
Like a bulletin board?
Like a bulletin board. I was like his dashboard. Hello. So we've done all of that. But he wasn't ready.
Right.
Now... I feel like he's more aware. And when we talk to him about certain things that have to, you know, because everything is about behavior with Angel. And everything is about, you know, shaping his behaviors and making him understand the right, the wrong, the, you know, all of that. So I feel like now, he is understanding a little bit more. You're telling him this. If I would have told him this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, he would be like,
had that understanding. Yeah.
He would have looked at me like, he wouldn't even answer like he answered.
Right.
Like, oh, I have family.
Yeah.
At least I got something back that I was able to then come back and explain a little bit better so he can understand to his level.
I also know that even a lot of people that are like, even with the like really high functioning crowd, like you've seen it with a few famous people also that are on the autism spectrum. They don't like having friendships because it is exhausting to them, and they will say it. It's not something that they want to do. It doesn't make them feel good. So I think that also kind of puts things into perspective for me too, because see, I think a little differently though. In that sense, I think like I don't want to force friendships either.
No,
like if
it's
you
not
don't
about
want to be,
forcing.
yeah, like
it's
if
not
you don't
about
want,
forcing.
like if it makes you feel worse to put on a mask, kind of, so to speak, and have friends, then I get that. But you do have to be polite. And you do have to have some kind of...
I told them about that. I said, you know how we talked about not being rude? And
like,
being
you still
polite?
have to say good morning, and you still have to, show some respect to your classmates, and, and that sort of thing.
In the same way that you say hi to your teachers, you say hi to your classmates.
Right.
And you have to say good morning, que no sé qué. Yo le expliqué también todo eso. I mean, it's a long, car ride. So, I went into that. And it's not about forcing. It's basically exposing him.
Right.
Right now he got invited to a birthday party. Right? So we're going to go. And when I told him, he actually got excited.
Great.
If it would have been years ago, he would have been like, okay.
Right.
So, por eso digo, he's ready to be exposed.
Yes.
Ahora, si yo veo que va allí y no habla con nadie, y tú sabes, cosas así.
And being there makes him feel more uncomfortable than not being there.
Then ya yo entiendo que he is ready for the idea, but not able to practice it. So then we'll work on that eventually and see. But it's almost like a touch and go kind of.
Sure.
With Angel, it's almost like yo siempre me fijo en todo.
Yeah.
Another thing, lately, for the past couple of weeks now, I want to say since before the break, we before you used to ask him, who's your friend? Él no te daba ningún nombre. Nadie. Podía ser una persona que veía todos los días, que no sé qué, pero nadie.
Right.
Ninguno de los... To the point that when he first started in that school, the same group goes year to year to year, in the same class. Él estaba ahí ya casi un año. Y el maestro le preguntó, what's his name?
He knew everybody.
No. Él nada más se conocía 3 o 4. El resto, él no se acordaba de los nombres. Y es una cosa como que él no le pone interés.
Right.
Si fuese alguien, una amistad, alguien de aquí, él se acuerda. Pero parece que es almost like he doesn't make...
I bet he knows every character on Sesame Street.
Exacto. Si es algo que no le interesa, it's almost like he really disconnects the plug.
Right.
Like, really.
Yeah.
So when the teacher told me, no, because I'm trying to get them, and I noticed that he didn't even know half of the classmates' names. That was concerning to me. But again, when you tried to talk to him about it, it was like one ear out the other. So it's been actually last year we did a social group. It was once every 2 weeks, 2 weeks.
I think that's another issue. Sometimes your classmates are your classmates. They're not necessarily your friends. They're your classmates. And I feel like, and like he said, didn't he say something like, I go to school to learn?
Oh, that's another thing. Otra vez que yo le estaba hablando.
Ain't no one got no time for socializing.
And it's good.
He's not wrong, but
it's good, but then at the same time it's bad.
Yeah.
It's that fine line that it's like, okay,
right.
¿Cómo te explico? How am I gonna get that through so you can understand?
Yeah.
Because when I'm telling him, the car ride to school is long, so yo me pongo ahí a hablarle, hacerle, sí, lo mareo, I'm sorry. Pero sometimes when we get into these subjects, then I start elaborating, right?
Yeah.
So, otra vez que le dije algo about making friends, and you go to school and you can make friends. Y me dice, I go to school to learn, Mom.
Smart kid.
I'm like,
I think that he would really, like so many, would benefit from a good social skills program. The problem is that there isn't enough out there.
No.
For any.
Well, actually, he did go to one, but then it got canceled.
But then that's the thing. It gets canceled. It's raining. It's, the pandemic. We're short-staffed today. Like siempre hay un San Juan alumbrado. And then, besides that, what kind of socializing are you going to do if you're going to see these people once a month for 30 minutes? I'm not saying that was the case with this one.
With this one, it was longer, and it was every other week because other things. Pero, es verdad, it's not like you see these people every day, every week, unlike your classmates.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
but I think that, or maybe even seeing your classmates in a different setting, even if it's the same people.
That might, I'm hoping now with this
birthday party that sort of changes things a little.
That sparks up even more of an interest,
Yeah.
Because I feel like
reason I say like with the different setting, especially because even with like social skills
como que te veo fuera de la escuela.
Yeah, and I don't think that in school there's much time or opportunities to really like not just socialize, but like to really, you're not doing activities that are, unless I don't know what they do at the school, but in a social skills program, for instance, it's different because that's what you're there for. Like the end goal is to socialize, so they put you in a group, or they might pair you with somebody for you to socialize with that person, to play a game, to be able to take turns. Like there's a lot that goes into these programs. And so, I mean, that he would really benefit from a good one.
Again, these are the skills that are pretty much self-taught.
Yeah.
And with kids with the autism, they don't have that come naturally to them.
Right.
A lot of them.
Right.
So it's almost like you have to teach everything
and break it down.
Break it down and just kind of like, okay, this stage we passed through, okay, let's go to the next.
Right.
So it can get a little bit difficult, and I understand that parents may or may not want their kids included because of all those things and all that. I've known of people that I rather him not go, so like that I don't have to see. I actually heard this. I actually have to see other kids be mean to him.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Y yo me quedé así, yo dije, bueno, te entiendo.
They have a point.
Te entiendo,
sucks.
Pero if you don't expose them,
yeah, I mean,
they won't learn. And it's, hey, with our typical kids, they're gonna face bullies. They're gonna face, other kids being mean or make fun of, or, are we there all the time?
Right.
No, we're not.
Right.
So, again, it's a very fine line, and I get it, but we have to make that effort because since this doesn't come naturally to them, it's almost like we have to guide them to.
I knew a mom actually that not only did she not have any interest in social, like in the like social skills program, her kiddo was at that level where that's what he benefited from. And believe it or not, she didn't want that. She also had no interest in life skills. Now, this is a kid that was totally capable of learning life skills. And it took 2 behavior analysts to tell her that they were going to have to discharge him or like terminate his services because she wanted the ABA therapist to be still at the point where, though, this is a kid that's fully verbal. The biggest issue is the social skills and the life skills. And that's what he really needed out of a behavior program. And they had to end up stopping with 2 different companies because the both behavior analysts talked to her and said, he's not at a point where we can sit on a table with him and run discrete trials. He's not at a point anymore. He's way past that. I can't tell him to point to the apple. He knows what the apple is. Like, that's not where we are, and that's not going to help him any. And what we want to do is we want him to be able to make himself a sandwich. And she didn't
care for that.
She didn't want him to learn that. And I'm like, how, if your kiddo is at that point, like, why would you not want him to be as self-sufficient as possible? And you're not going to last forever. And I know that we all feel this. Like, this is a huge, I think that I speak for all of us. This is huge. We all worry about that. So why would you not want your kid to
learn that?
To learn that and to be able to socialize with other people and to be able to get, a response from other people and be included in those things, and also be able to be self-sufficient to whatever it is, the very maximum of their capabilities. Whatever that is. Everybody's different. But yeah, she was like, no, I don't. Well, we couldn't walk him through making a sandwich. Or no. He didn't. She didn't want that. She wasn't interested in that.
One thing with that, you saying that, we are all also, actually, everyone in the team is also working on follow-up questions, because you could have a conversation with Angel, but it's almost like you have to pull everything out of him,
right?
And he doesn't have a comeback as in, what about you?
Yeah.
or
but he's getting so much better at that.
Yes,
like he really is getting better at that.
He is. But we've had to work
on that. That's been work.
We've been having to actually work on that.
It's not enough to say hi and the other person saying hi, how are you, and then that's good, and then you walk away. No, you need to be able to say, I'm good, how are you, and engage in that conversation. But he's gotten a lot better than that. A lot better.
Because it was like, hi, how are you, good,
done.
Conversations on the phone. Oh my God. He called me the other day. No. He was on his way to the house from his dad's house. His dad was going to drop him off, and he was in the car. He called me and said, hey, Mom, what you doing?
Oh my God.
I was like, I'm here waiting for you, bud. Where are you? I'm on my way to you, Mom. I missed you today.
Aww.
What you been up to? And I'm like, oh no, espérate. We had a conversation.
That's amazing.
That we would never had before. Like,
wow, that's incredible.
And he was asking me questions. I was asking him, how did you do? I had a restful sleep. A restful sleep.
That's amazing.
I'm like, that's amazing, Papa. And what else? No, que no sé qué, me dijo no sé qué otra cosa. And I'm like, conversations on the phone. It was like, hi, like, le ponía la abuela. Say hi to abuela. Hi, Abu. Hi, I love you. Bye.
But even that, isn't it like a typical teenager thing too? Like, no, they don't want to talk to their parents on the phone. They're very like...
No. Sí. Bueno.
Bye.
Sí. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Sí.
Yeah. What are your conversations? Tell me a little bit about your conversations with your others, like with Sergio. What are those like? You know what I mean? Oh my God! The other day I saw. I don't know if I sent it to you on social media. I said finally they made a mannequin, of a teenager, and the teenager's like this, like hunchback kind of. They finally made a mannequin of a teenager. Anyway.
Ay, Dios mío. Pero sí. So that conversation was beautiful. And I was so glad to see that and to hear that. You know, conversations on the phone was like zero.
Mm-hmm.
Conversations one-on-one, it was like a couple of exchanges and then that was it. That was, there was no interest to know more. And there was no, and it's not that they're rude. It's just basically in their mind, they're just not, they're not there. They're not, you know. So I've seen, and it, like I told his ABA team, I was like, he's ready for things like this now.
Mm-hmm.
We need to revisit a lot of these things.
Yeah.
Because he's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Again, yo no le iba a enseñar y no iba a push this, kind of, in a certain way, this 2, 3, 5 years ago, because
we weren't there. You weren't there.
He didn't care for it at all.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that he's excited about this birthday party,
and
great. He goes, ¿tú sabes lo que me dijo?
Uh-huh.
You're gonna drop me off and I'm gonna have fun with my friends. Y yo digo, sí, ajá, está bien. Como si me tengo que quedar. No, yo puedo ir.
Right.
Pero como si me tengo que quedar, like, en una esquina mirando lo que él está haciendo.
Interesting.
Pero for him to say something like that.
I mean,
that's very teenage like, and that's very appropriate.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So for him to tell me
like
that,
just drop me off at the mall kind of thing, like, you know.
So I'm glad that he is finally, you know, understanding it. And within a year or two, I mean, everything at its pace, you know.
True.
And even with music class.
Yeah.
That has gotten him into a whole different thing that I was not aware that he
even like,
not. Well, you know, que las perretas que he used to have cuando there was loud music, or you know, they had him, you know, do the dances and all that stuff. Eso no. Yeah, that was not for him at that time.
At that time, yeah.
Pero ahora into music. That's another story. He was talking about something with his therapist, and he said something about you gotta respect, que no sé qué, algo de eso, pero hizo como like a rhyming thing. No me acuerdo exactamente cómo fue. Yo no me acuerdo. Gente, mente de pollo, it happens. So when he said that, I go, oh yeah, you're like that song, Respect. First of all, I felt very old because his therapist goes, what's that song? And I go, you don't know the Aretha Franklin?
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Well, I mean, she's young.
I know. She's like, no, I never heard it.
Yeah, that's a famous one. But yeah, I know.
Yo estoy viejita. Pero bueno, y entonces yo empecé más o menos a cantarla with my singing.
Yeah.
Y entonces she's like, yeah, no, I haven't heard it. Entonces,
en her version
menos todavía, imagínate. I had to cut off porque iba a llover.
Yeah.
Pero entonces, no sé qué fue, yo le dije a ellos, y yo, for Christmas, le regalé, it's like one of those lights que ponen.
That it's a Bluetooth speaker? Oh, I have one. Justin has one.
It's a Bluetooth, but also has lights y que no sé qué.
Justin has one.
Es como un carrito y tiene la bolita así arriba.
Okay.
And you could kind of like, you know, put it to the ceiling or to a wall or no sé qué. And it reflects all different colors.
Yeah, we have one too. It's really cool.
Right. So he wanted to use it only for the lights. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, Papa, it's for music too.
Right.
Yo, más o menos, working on, since the interest in music, pues, imagínate. Yo dije, bueno, aquí, perfecto, pero no quería usarlo. Entonces, we had to work on that. Y entonces yo le digo, no, podemos poner esta canción en your Bluetooth. Todavía, he struggles with that a little bit. Mm-hmm. Pero después coge y hace, okay, let's put it. Y entonces lo pone. Y nosotros empezamos a poner la canción. And they're like, oh, this song, que no sé qué, que está buena, que no sé qué. Bueno, el otro día, antes de dormir, él pensó que era party time. Puso luz, puso R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
No.
And he goes, Mom, look. Y empieza a hacer, tú lo ves que está ahí. He's dancing y poniendo la canción. Y hasta que no terminó la canción, no paró. He goes, now I can go to sleep.
Oh my God. That's a really hyper song to go to sleep to. You know that, now that you say that, hasta que no terminó la canción, you know that one, fun fact, when we're in the car listening to a song, we cannot, I don't know if I've told you this before.
No, pero yo sé lo que me vas a decir porque Ángel a veces me hace eso.
We can't stop the car, we can't get off the car until the song is done.
Y él me hace eso en la mañana. Mm-hmm. Ángel me hace eso en la mañana with the videos that he's watching.
Oh.
That sometimes can get a little...
Sure. Yeah. Well, because he has control of the video. For us, it's the song. And then if we see that it's... So we could do two things. If we kind of if it's something we're playing on our phone, we see how much time is left. We'll go around the block one time. But then we stop it. Because if it finishes before we get to the front of the house, we don't want to have to start it again.
Right.
Or we'll just stop in front of the house, but we just can't get down. We have to, And the thing is that what's going to be less than a minute more? I'm not going to, in my case, yes, that's something that maybe he needs to
work on.
But
you got to pick and choose your bottle.
Pick or choose. Yeah, there's bigger fish to fry. I'm not going to, if he wants to finish the song, we'll just finish the song.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's and what were you saying? So about the videos, that can be tricky because he has the video on the phone.
No, he has it on. Él pone los DVDs en la mañana.
Oh, you mean he in the house?
In the house.
Oh, so you can't leave. So okay, I thought you meant when he's watching on his phone and when he gets to school.
I've been working on it because it's like, Papa, we have to go. Mm-hmm. So da la casualidad. Thank God, que está casi terminando. Yo no sé si es que él lo pone pensando de que a tal hora I'm leaving, so más o menos
tiene todo fríamente calculado.
Todavía no me he fijado bien si es que es así.
But da la casualidad that it's almost done.
It's almost done. So he says, Mom, I have to wait. At first I was like, wait, what? Y él no me decía. Él no me explicaba lo que era.
Right.
Again, the conversation thing. And he kind of, it's almost like, use your words.
Yeah. I wonder, well, I mean, and your analyst will probably be able to tell you, but in order to maybe help him be able to stop the video before it's actually done, is maybe
it's gotten better.
It's gotten better, yeah.
It's gotten better.
Yeah. And it's also happened that there's not a lot left.
Yeah.
But in cases where you kind of, if you don't have a choice or whatever, maybe just start reminding him, we're leaving in 5 minutes, or, whether it's...
I do that.
Visuals even better, but, maybe just start,
yo le digo, in about 5 minutes, but I have to be careful with that. Mm-hmm. Because 5 minutes pass, and we're not leaving... Mm-hmm. Then, Mom, you said 5 minutes.
Right.
Tú sabes. Mm-hmm. Porque él es muy, again, they're very
that's
narrow. It's almost like,
no, I get it.
Open up a little bit.
I get it. Yeah.
So I gotta be careful with that. But I kind of, we're almost leaving. Mm-hmm. Okay, did you do this? Did you do that? Yo lo entretengo. con el que, did you get your backpack and your iPad? And
Right.
You have everything ready? What about your ID? Tú me ves
Yeah.
hablando como una loca all over the place,
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get everything done.
Right.
Y hablándole. So he can know that, yeah, soon.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
this is the end. This is, you know, the time to move on.
Right, right.
So, es una de esas cosas.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has to be taught with our kids.
Yeah.
Even as something as natural of making friendships.
And maybe natural to somebody else.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Every case is different. Every person is different.
Yeah.
There's not an exact way and exact science for anything with autism. But it's just to see, you know your child. We've said it millions of times, and we'll say it again and again.
Right.
You know your child. You know what they're ready for, what they're not. And whenever they're ready, you just gotta go with it.
Right.
And see how far it goes.
Yeah. I love it that he's excited about the birthday party and understands all that.
Yes.
So that's good.
I'm glad that he's excited, and I'm glad he's understanding a little bit more about that side of life.
Yeah.
You know, there's much more to teach and to for him to grow. So
right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll be there. I'll be checking out and seeing how he interacts with the other kids.
I mean, he does just want you to drop him off and go, but you're gonna stick around.
I don't think so.
You're gonna stick around.
But yeah, I'm happy to be able to be there as a little witness.
Watchdog.
And watchdog.
Yeah.
Mama dog. But I'm glad that he's at least at that point to.
I'm looking forward to hearing about it, like after it happens, after he goes to the party on Saturday.
I'll tell you guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how it went, and we'll follow up with that. But those are things that some of the kiddos get to do, some others don't, and it's a bittersweet kind of feeling that you get sometimes with things like this, because you look at your child and you're like, but you should be knowing this by now. But
or for me, the bittersweetness too is if they are what we were talking about before, being excluded, they may be excluded from certain things and they don't even know that they're being excluded.
That too.
They don't realize that. Or
that's happened to Angel.
Yeah. I know.
And he kind of like, okay.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Yeah.
Like, sure. Whatever goes in his mind. Tú sabes, we'll never know, no?
Right.
How he analyzes that in his own way. But it's fun to see all the different stages in a different. It's fun, and again, the bittersweet kind of thing, because in my case, I have Angel and Sergio that are so close in age, and seeing the development of Sergio and seeing the development of Angel is like, wow.
Oh my God. So like, I'm still laughing with me asking him to share his cookies with me. Like, he knows he has to be polite, and he knows that I'm a preferred person for him when I'm here, that I pull those conversations out of him and I try to engage with him, and he likes it for the most part. But it reminded me of Joey doesn't share food. He was like, I go, those cookies.
He was like, those and he's like,
those cookies look so good. I go, are you going to share them with me? And he's like, yeah.
Pero como que,
and I go to him,
do I really have to?
And he had a lot of them. And there was two types. There was chocolate chip, and the other ones were like sugar cookies. And I could tell.
He makes them himself.
Yeah, he does. And I can tell that he liked the sugar cookies more because I said to him, which one do you think I should try? And he had a chocolate chip one in his hand at that moment. And I could tell that there was more of the chocolate chip, there was more of the sugar ones left, which would just tell me that he ate more of the others. And so he's eating the chocolate chip cookie. And I said to him, which one should I try? And he points to the sugar one. But even though he still wasn't 100%, he's going to give it to me. He's going to let me have it.
He will.
Like, he will give it to
share.
me. He will share.
But
and then I go, it's okay, Papa. I don't really think I want it.
Mind you, he had the bowl where he puts all his cookies in, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he eats out of that. Mm-hmm. At no point he went like this to like, okay, you pick or no. Él las tenía al frente de él como quien dice, I'll share if I have to.
Yeah, I'm just going to hold on to the container though. I'm not...
The container stays right here.
So then I said, nah, I'm good. It's okay. I don't want any. And then he still had a cookie in his hand and I just kind of like took a little piece off his cookie and he was like.
Y la miró así como
But he didn't say anything.
No la miró mal, pero.
No, I don't.
Pero la miró como que, okay.
He goes, that's kind of like the one that I didn't want you to get because me quedan poco de esa. But he's the cutest. And he's just like, I go, it was literally like the size of a chocolate chip what I took off. I said, oh my goodness, it is so good.
He goes,
Oh man, this kiddo, he's too much. Well, I think
this is pretty much it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up.
It's almost, pretty much it.
Because there's about a 90% chance that either the battery's gonna die again, or once again the camera is gonna overheat.
Está menopausic.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on with our camera, but it overheats and does all kinds of weird.
Como un carro viejo. Y no está viejo. No está vieja.
No. No está vieja.
No.
Did you say
no está vieja? No. That's not what I meant. I meant que la cámara no está vieja.
No es esta vieja. Ya. Está bien. Más te vale. Pero bueno. Okay.
Interesting how she thought I was talking about her. Anyways,
guys, we're here to inform, inspire, and support. We share our stories and hopefully anything that we say resonates with you and gives you some kind of
guidance, hope.
Exactly. Yeah.
Laugh. Whatever it is.
Yeah. So we hope that we get to do that for you guys. And we're happy to do that because this road can be a lonely road.
Yes.
But we're not.
No.
But we're not.
No, indeed.
So.
Don't forget to like, follow, and share. We're all over social media. I think mostly Instagram. I think Instagram is where we're mostly active, but we're all over social media. And we are on YouTube and also on all streaming platforms. Most of them, anyway.
Yeah, especially Spotify. So where you can hear us, you can watch us.
Right.
And you can see what's going on in our social media and what we post. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for being with us. And we'll see you next week. New episode every Friday. Bye.
Bye.